Hi, everybody. Andy Giacomazzi with you again for another edition of Academics, Talking Academics in Virtual Elevators, where we take that classic elevator pitch to a whole new level. Today, we welcome into the elevator Grace Hall. She's a fantastic Boise State University student, has a fantastic background that we're going to get to know a little bit here. And we welcome you, Grace, into the elevator today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Great to have you too. First things first, you got to tell us what floor you'd like to go to in the virtual elevator, and that'll give us enough time to get up to that floor.
Yeah, let's go to floor 6.
Floor 6, you got it. And you heard that bell. I pressed it. We'll add that in later. That's no problem at all. Grace, tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to Boise State University.
Yeah, of course. My background, something important to know about me is I've been studying Arabic for going on 7 years. I started my freshman year of high school here in Idaho at Renaissance High School. Going into applying to colleges, I wanted to go to a college that had an Arabic major, but I decided to stay in state in order to save money and later be able to afford to go to a graduate school that had an Arabic major. And both my parents and pretty much everyone in my family is BSU graduates, so the school is really close to my heart. So I ultimately decided to come here, and I'm really glad that I did. And I'm excited to be here, and I've loved my experience at Boise State.
Go Broncos to the whole Grace Hall family. Love it. Tell us a little bit about what you're studying specifically at Boise State. It's a combination of things, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, so I'm in the interdisciplinary studies major. So what that means is I pick 3 minors, and they kind of combine to form my major. So I'm a senior studying Arabic, political science, global studies. And this summer, I'm actually getting my certificate in teaching English to speakers of other languages so that I can teach English abroad.
That's fantastic. The background is great. And you found the interdisciplinary studies program at Boise State as well, combining some really tough disciplines as well. Congratulations on that. And you've been doing well. You're on the dean's list with highest honors as well. Tell us a little bit about how that academic background is preparing you for what you're interested in career-wise.
Yeah, so the careers that I'm interested in has to do with a focus in the MENA region or the Middle East and North Africa. So I'm either interested in the political side of it, so being an ambassador in the Middle East for the United States, or doing humanitarian work with NGOs or the Peace Corps or the UN, and doing that kind of work over there to help progress developing nations, especially within the realm of education and women's empowerment. A lot of my classes, political science classes, global studies classes, just general humanities classes, I've definitely taken an approach of a women's empowerment approach. So I'm definitely interested in incorporating that into my career, as well as, just speaking Arabic, which is part of my major as well, is going to be super important for being able to speak and understand and communicate with people in that region. So that's what I'm interested in doing as career-wise.
You and I have something in common in that we're believers in the kind of total immersion experience for language and cultures. Tell us a little bit more, Grace, about your study abroad experiences.
Yeah, so the first time I ever studied abroad was in high school. I got the National Security Initiative for Youth Scholarship through the State Department. And I went over to Jordan, and that was my first time going to the Middle East, and it kind of was like, oh, I need to keep going there. I need to keep learning the language, because from a perspective of a language learner, it's so much easier and so much more rewarding to learn the language in that country that speaks it. I don't get to practice Arabic a lot here in the United States. So coming into college, throughout my Boise State academic career, I've been trying to continue to study abroad and be immersed in Arab culture and the Arabic language. So in 2020, the spring of 2020, I had the opportunity to go to Israel and Palestine through Boise State. It was cut short, however, because of the pandemic. I was only there for about a month, but the experience was so influential, I knew I had to go back. And so this fall, which is this year's my last year of college, and I was like, the pandemic's kind of calming down a little bit. I need to go abroad. This is like my last opportunity in college to have this type of experience. So I applied to go to Morocco, and so I will be going to Ifrane, Morocco this fall.
That's fantastic. And you mentioned this is your last year, but also know that Grace has only been at Boise State for 2 years, and this upcoming third year is her senior year. So I don't want to say overachiever. I'm really liking everything that I see and hear about you, Grace. And also that you're taking advantage of all these experiential learning opportunities, as well as being a fantastic academic and constantly being on the dean's list. Final question for you, Grace, and that is, you are a recipient of a Frank Church Scholarship. You are a Frank Church Scholar for the academic year of 2021-22. And how is that scholarship helping you achieve your academic and career goals?
Yeah, so first I kind of want to start out by saying it's kind of already helping me to achieve my career goals, even though I haven't started my career as an undergraduate. But as a woman pursuing a field, political science, that's so male dominated, to be able to get a scholarship that's focused on public service and, political science students in the School of Public Service, to get a scholarship like the Frank Church Scholarship is so validating that I can achieve my goals. And then kind of the other aspect of that as well is I will be using the scholarship to pay for my trip to Morocco, my study abroad in Morocco, where I will continue learning Arabic, immersed in the culture. So I'll be able to progress my Arabic skills so that I can use it in my future career, as well as studying political science from the Middle Eastern perspective at Boise State. Excuse me. At Boise State, we don't have any political science classes from the perspective of the Middle East, or really focusing specifically on the Middle East. So to be able to go over there and get that perspective from the professors will be completely influential when it comes to my career, because I'll be able to bring a multidisciplinary, approach to any solutions I have to solve in my career, or understanding actually the culture and the economy and the politics of the actual region that I'm going to be in from their perspective, and not just a Western or an Orientalist perspective. So it will be super influential when it comes to making sure that I'm representing not only the United States correctly when it comes to my career, but also helping the actual cultures and countries that I want to work in.
I am so excited for everything that you've accomplished, everything that you still intend to accomplish. And I want to hear back from you after your study abroad experience in Morocco. It's going to be a fantastic opportunity for you. Thank you, Grace Hall, for joining us in the elevator today. Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. And we want to thank you for being with us as well. And we hope you will join us next time for another edition of Academics, Talking Academics in Virtual Elevators.